slack here? Call them, Keith. I've got to go. She disconnected before he could argue. She could hear her pulse in her head, and her scalp felt 2 sizes too small. Maybe she could take the boys camping herself. She thought there was a tent in the basement somewhere. But it wasn't the camping they'd so looked forward to. It was their dad's company. Besides, she wouldn't know a steak from a pole. She stretched her neck, tilting her head to the side, feeling the pull of tightened muscles. She couldn't think about Keith right now. There was a girl in the lobby who needed her. She drew a breath and blew it out slowly, letting her facial muscles relax, then opened the door. Lynn was still in the corner chair. The clipboard rested on her lap, and she stared out the picture window where the words Jackson Hole Hope Center played in reverse. In the distance, Wyoming's Tetons rose majestically through the summer haze. "All finished?" Natalie asked. Lynn nodded, then stood and walked toward her. The rubber sole of her shoe was loose at the toe and flipped with each step. Lynn handed her the clipboard. "Great. If you'll just step into that room there, I'll be right with you." Normally, the volunteer would help the client, but Amanda lacked the experience to counsel with Lynn. Anyway, Natalie felt drawn to help the girl. Natalie called up the stairs. "Amanda, can you come watch the desk again?" Moments later, the volunteer bounded down the creaking steps. "Sure." Natalie glanced at her watch. Shoot. "Could you do me a favor and call Paula?" "No problem," Amanda said. Natalie jotted down her sister's cell phone number. "Tell her something came up and I have to cancel our lunch plans." Amanda began punching the numbers. "Thanks a bunch." Natalie grabbed a questionnaire clipboard from her desk and entered the counseling room. "Now then." She took a seat on the chair across from the girl. "I'll need to ask you some questions, and then I'll get you the pregnancy test. As I said before, all the information you give me is completely confidential, okay?" "The test is free, right?" Lynn blinked, and a stray hair caught in her lashes, bobbing down and back up. "That's right. There's no charge. And that's why most of the girls came here. Most couldn't even afford a $15 test from the drugstore." Lynn's gaze darted around the room from chart to chart, as if she were afraid the walls were going to collapse. "I know you're anxious right now, but we're here to help, Lynn, all right?" She nodded, and Natalie perused her intake form. "I know you've come because you think you're pregnant. Can you tell me why?" She shrugged. "I'm late." "When was your last period?" 7, 8 weeks ago, I think." "Are you using any kind of birth control?" She crossed her arms, cupping her elbows with her hands, the nails short and ragged. "Yes, well, usually." "How long have you known the baby's father?" She looked away. "Almost 2 years." Natalie wrote it down. "Are you still seeing him?" Lynn's lashes fluttered down and she shook her head. "Have you ever been pregnant before?" Her brows drew together. "No." "I'm not making any assumptions about you, all right? I have to ask everyone these questions." When Lynn nodded, Natalie continued. "What do you plan to do if you're pregnant?" Her gaze fluttered to the floor. "I'll have to get rid of it. Have to. My dad would go postal if he found out." Natalie carefully kept her expression bland, though her stomach clenched at the words. She zipped through countless other questions, from substance use to family relationships to dreams and goals. That's when Lynn finally opened up. "I'm going to college in the fall. I got a full scholarship to Loyola University in Chicago."